and welcome to Film with Friends. My name is Nikki, and I have officially given up. Today will be a recap episode. Nothing new coming out. I mean, there is, and I've actually seen one today, so... But today we're just going to do a little bit of a recap. Maybe highlight some films that you probably haven't seen before, right? And that should be interesting. So basically, I saw, I've been seeing a lot of kind of weirder horror movies recently. And when I say recently, I mean forever. So with that being said, most of these movies are, they're mostly horror. They're mostly, if not horror, genre. So if you're looking for dramas, comedies, the review of Downton Abbey, the finale, is coming out next week. So what did I see recently? I saw There Are Monsters. Nobody's ever heard of that crap. But you know what? It wasn't crap, actually. I saw this in a Reddit thread saying, here's a carrot, if you know it, and not a rabbit carrot. Here's a carrot, right? And it's saying that on this side is the Blair Witch Project. By the way, side tangent, the Blair Witch Project kind of sucks now, but that's besides the point. So, I mean, I guess it is the point, kind of. But, so here's the Blair Witch Project, right? Here's a carrot, and here is There Are Monsters. So what is There Are Monsters? You're thinking it's like a found footage thing, right? So it must be like this amazing found footage classic. You know what I mean? And no. What it is pretty good. Pretty good. And that's called a cut. Just for those of you unaware, that's sort of a filmmaking technique or a tactic that we like to use in the industry. And I'm just kind of letting you in on that. That's when you take a shot and then you end an old shot and replace it with a new one. And you kind of put those together in what they call editing, which is another term we could get into. But, just figured I'd share that with you guys. Nothing. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Okay. So yeah, here's There Are Monsters. Here's Blair Witch, right? And there's a carrot in the middle. Again, not a bunny carrot. I'm not that kind of carrot, like the mathematical symbol. You know what I mean? Coming from this guy. So There Are Monsters. What is it about? I hate to spoil movies in a review, but I mean, you can't really talk about this movie without spoiling kind of, I guess the premise is kind of a spoiler. I mean, it's revealed pretty early on. Basically, doppelgangers have taken over the world. Alien, monster, whatever. They don't really explain. And you know what? I'm refreshed by that. I'm glad when, something just happens and it's creepy and it's a little bit scary and you don't have to worry about, the science or whatever for a movie like this. You know what I mean? If this was like Star Trek, and, they're saying, I got to freaking do the engineering core to like 1,100 billion, million percentile of whatever. Then, maybe the science matters more because the people who watch Star Trek care about that kind of thing. But I'm a moron, so I don't. Right. So, There Are Monsters is a found footage horror movie. It's a group of college filmmakers. Right. And they're going around interviewing people for this documentary. They start noticing weird things like everybody around them has their backs turned. Right. And you're like, what's going on with these people? You know what I mean? It's like, whoa, what's, ooh, something weird's going on. And then, these people start kind of behaving strangely, like a little off. There's like, you start seeing twins everywhere, right? And then the one kind of overarching thing that becomes a staple of what these people do are these big smiles, these evil smiles, which I don't know if you've noticed, but recently, maybe not even that recently, maybe like forever, since The Man Who Laughs, right, which is kind of like the prototypical Joker. I was meant to be like a clown nose, but the prototypical Joker is just like the man who laughs, right? It's like, I don't know, I think it's not quite silent era, but way back in the day, this like really creepy guy. Hold on. Well, okay, now I can't quite remember if he's meant to be creepy or the actor just happens to look a little bit, creepy in the film. And then we're back. another cut for you all, just to kind of keep things interesting, right? It's well, You know, for that one, I'll take it. For that one, I'll take it. But yeah, so the man who laughs, and then like you get somebody like the Joker who's like scary. It's a scary smile, right? Because when you're in a scary situation, you probably shouldn't be smiling, right? I mean, that's yeah. Or if somebody's like murdered in front of you, and then you go to the detective, and the detective is like, "Oh, hey, what's going on?" You know, that's probably not a good sign. So anyways, all these people are smiling. It's very Inland Empire-esque. If you've seen that one scene, where, you know, I think Laura Dern's going down this like hallway, and there's like this guy, and then his, you know, his face becomes like this weird, distorted, creepy, digital effectsy smile. When I say, I mean like digital era CGI, like this is, you know, a couple years ago now, like 10, 12 years ago, 15 years ago. But relatively effective movie. Pretty scary, pretty creepy. Better than the Blair Witch? No, in terms of authenticity. What the Blair Witch has over this is really amazing and kind of natural feeling performances and world, right? Where you're following these characters and you mostly believe what's happening because it's so subtle and so boring that it just feels like real life to a certain extent. A movie like this is a lot more out there. It's a lot more surreal, especially at the end. But the moments where it is just kind of this weird, creepy, unsettling feeling of something being wrong work really well. When the stock rock music starts playing in, you know, this scary scene where a guy smiles and then he disappears from view and you're like, oh, what's happening? Does not succeed. So there are monsters. Better than the Blair Witch? Kind of. Less boring? Yes. Better? Who knows? So moving on, I saw another movie called The Passenger, right? And this is a car movie. Well, actually, I guess it's not. It's about a guy who's a passenger in a car. And it's not like they're racing or anything like that. So it's this guy, right? He works at like Wendy's, basically. And his coworker is, you know, are really mean to him, right? Even though he's like a good guy, you know, he's like a nice guy. He's like manager material. Am I right? I mean, well, I don't have my crowd sound effect, so right? So he's going to be manager, presumably his manager tells him that. And then, you know, his coworkers are really mean to him. They're making him eat like a day-old burger that's all like moldy and gross and disgusting. And, you know, his other coworker, the janitor, comes out with the gun, right? He comes off a shotgun from his car, right? And he's like, you know, I didn't say anything, I guess. He just freaking boom, right? And he just destroys his mean coworkers and his boss. And he's about to kill this kid, right? And the kid's like, no, please, you know, please don't, right? And then the guy's like, you know what? Okay, you know what? Yeah, come on, get in the car. So they get in the car, right? And they're kind of driving along. The guy's like, you know, I see something in you. I see something in you. You're the most pathetic person in this town. Why do you let these guys walk all over you when you're a good person? I'm going to take this opportunity to change your life, right? And basically they go on this kind of self-discovery journey where he takes him, you know, like his old girlfriend. He takes him, you know, kind of weird other places that relate to his history and kind of help him figure out who he wants to be. Although he's also very dangerous and violent and scary, right? He's scary, you know? So from a movie like this, it's very low budget. I mean, you can tell, right? I mean, no offense, but, you know. You can tell, okay? Suffice to say, you can tell. It's good. It's good. The writing's really good, actually. It's just shockingly good. So, a quick little movie, quick rental. It's like an hour 30, hour 40, maybe. You pop this on. 2 characters, great performances. Just a solid thriller. I would take it even a step above that. There's some interesting things going on in the writing and in the setups and the payoffs that are actually more than what you would expect from a movie like this. And it has an epilogue, which is one of my favorite things in the world. Can we get some cheers for the epilogue? What is an epilogue? It takes place after the story, kind of wraps things up, right? Well, I guess it's technically in the story, you know. Sorry about that. Yeah, so, you know, it takes place after the story. It ties a bow on everything, let's say. And I just, you know, without giving too much away, the epilogue of this film is fantastic, and that's really what it's a. To me, that really seals the deal. Some movies you can get away with an ending that just happens, boom, right? I watched Encounters of the Spooky Kind, the Sammo Hung movie, and I think he like kills his wife or something at the end, and then it's just like freeze frames, and that's kind of awesome. But you know, sometimes you want like a real, true ending. You know, it's good to see what happens to the characters after the story. It's good to see that somebody thought about that, because it feels like it gives the project more weight. You know what I mean? It gives the story more authenticity. You know, these are real people, you know, I mean, they're movies, but I wasn't probably, they're movies, boy. But you know what I mean. I think we'll do one more kind of underrated underground pick that most people aren't talking about these days. I saw Tyrannosaur. Oh, whoops. Oh, dinosaurs. Nope. It's actually about an abusive guy. This is actually a very depressing movie. It stars Patty Considine also. Wait, no, it doesn't. Okay, nope. It's directed by Patty Considine. It stars Peter Mullen and Olivia Colman, who, you know, is an Academy Award winner. And this is back in 2011. So, you know, when I talk about ageless celebrities, she looks almost identical to how she does now. And this has been like 14 years. I don't know if you saw that trailer for The Roses, which is kind of annoying, but also maybe kind of interesting. I mean, it's one of those movies where you would never watch it. I would never watch it, except in maybe 20 years on HBO Max. But, you know, okay. Suffice to say, I like her a lot. Olivia Colman, she's great, right? She's great. Everybody knows it. And it's been recognized officially, you know. So this movie, Tyrannosaur, stars this guy. You know, I started the movie, you'll know if you like it. Because, if you know, first 5 minutes, he kicks his dog to death. Oh, whoops. So, if you don't like that, you won't like this movie. But if you do, you know, he's like this troubled, complex character. He lives in this, you know, kind of crap-on neighborhood. His wife has, of course, died, right? He's all messed up. He gets drunk every night. He meets Olivia Colman, who's this worker at like a thrift store, basically. She's like a, you know, kind of Christianity is part of her identity. She tries to like convert him and just kind of help him out. And then you start to kind of realize that, you know, her home life is not so great. He and her develop a kind of bond, and it becomes, you know, it sounds like I'm setting up something positive, you know, in a sense, yes, but also no. It's very depressing and very dark, right? So, you know, sorry to bring down the mood. But, you know, if you're looking for something like that, it's one of those British movies where everybody's like all mean and gruff and like sad and dark and horrible and grim. Then this is the movie for you. I guess that's it. Patty Considine also is in the new Game of Thrones crap that I didn't watch, but apparently he's good in. Spoiler alert. Oh, well, that show came out 2 years ago. Spoiler alert, he dies. That's all I know. And then he plays like a king or something. But, you know, I thought he did a really good job here. Yeah, he's a good director. I heard his next movie was crap, but I don't know. I haven't seen it, so. Anyways, this has been Film of Friends. My name is Nick Yee.